Missy Cooper stepping back into the picture in season 2 of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage might be exactly the emotional reset this show needs, not just for nostalgia, but for balance. From the beginning, the spin-off has focused heavily on Georgie trying to prove himself as a husband and father. The pressure has mostly come from Mandy's side of the family. Jim and Audrey constantly evaluate him, question his decisions, and subtly remind him that he's still the underqualified teenage dad in their eyes. That tension works dramatically, but it's also boxed Georgie into a defensive position. He's always trying to prove he belongs. That's where Missy changes everything. Fans first met Missy in Young Sheldon, and from the start, she was the emotional realist of the Cooper family. She wasn't the genius. She wasn't the golden child. But she saw things clearly. And more importantly, she understood Georgie in a way no one else really did. Their sibling dynamic was honest, sarcastic, and surprisingly tender. When Georgie messed up, Missy didn't sugarcoat it, but she also didn't abandon him. That kind of grounding presence has been missing in the spin-off. Season 1 of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage often felt like Georgie was navigating adulthood alone, even when he wasn't technically alone. Mandy loves him, but she's figuring herself out too. Her parents support her, but they don't fully trust him. There's been very little space for Georgie to just be Georgie without judgment hanging over him. Missy's return shifts that emotional tone. She represents home. She represents the version of Georgie that existed before he had to become the responsible one. And that matters because season 2 feels like it's heading toward deeper marital tension. The cracks have already shown. Stress, money, pride, insecurity, all of it simmers beneath the surface. An emotional reset doesn't mean magically fixing those issues. It means reminding these characters who they are outside the pressure. Missy can do that for Georgie. She's one of the few people who can call him out without threatening his identity. If he's being stubborn, she'll say it. If he's self-sabotaging, she'll see it. But she'll also remind him that he's capable of more. That mix of tough love and loyalty is something Mandy hasn't always been able to give. Not because she doesn't care, but because she's too close to the stress. There's also something bigger happening here in terms of canon. We know from The Big Bang Theory that Georgie's life becomes complicated. His marriages don't all last. That looming future adds weight to every disagreement and misunderstanding in this spin-off. So when Missy comes back, it's not just a cute sibling reunion. It's potentially a mirror. Missy has always been emotionally perceptive. If she notices distance between Georgie and Mandy, she'll likely say something. And sometimes it takes someone outside a marriage to point out what the people inside it can't see. But beyond the tension, Missy's presence also restores humor and rhythm. One of the reasons Young Sheldon worked so well was the interplay between its characters. Missy's sarcasm balanced Sheldon's rigidity. Her energy balanced Georgie's impulsiveness. Without her, the spin-off has leaned heavily into adult responsibilities and awkward in-law dynamics. Bringing Missy back injects a different kind of warmth, chaotic, sibling-driven, emotionally layered warmth. And let's not overlook what this return means for Missy herself. By the end of Young Sheldon, she was dealing with her own emotional fallout. Growing up in Sheldon's shadow, coping with family stress, and feeling overlooked shaped her deeply. Seeing her interact with Georgie now, older, more self-aware, could create some of the most authentic emotional beats of season 2. If Georgie has matured, Missy will notice. If he hasn't, she'll call him out. That dynamic creates accountability without hostility. Ultimately, Missy's return feels less like fan service and more like narrative recalibration. The show has spent a season establishing Georgie as a husband under pressure. Season 2 has the opportunity to explore him as a brother again, and through that lens, rediscover the emotional core that made audiences root for him in the first place. Because before Georgie was a husband trying to prove himself, he was a kid who felt underestimated. Missy understood that version of him, and reconnecting with that part of his identity might be exactly what he needs to move forward, whether that strengthens his marriage or exposes its weaknesses. Either way, Missy Cooper walking back into his life isn't just a reunion. It's a reset button.